Hey everyone, this is Dawn. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to another Makers with Heart Mystery Envelope Challenge. This month, Melanie sent out the mystery envelope and we all got the same thing. So in the envelope, we got a card base with some swatches of the UV coated bright colors. I think this is from a retired collection. And then we got some stamped images from the Rain or Shine set. Melanie's rules are that she, for this month's challenge, she kept thinking about the phrase April showers bring May flowers. So she thought going along with that theme, she thought about umbrellas, rain boots, and rainbows. And her challenge is to create a project using a rainbow color palette. And she's enclosed some products, but I don't have to use them, just incorporate a rainbow color scheme in some way. Okay, so I have this die cut bundle. This is from the Cardstock Carnival last month, and I've pulled a bunch of the scalloped borders to use on my background. And the photos that I'm going to scrapbook are of a rainbow, and I saw this outside our back door, so I snapped a couple shots of a rainbow a couple summers ago. Okay, so for my background, I'm going to build this section of rainbow colors. So I pulled all the scallop borders from that bundle. And so I've got candy apple and pumpkin, lemonade, and clover, bluebird, and royal. So this is the traditional rainbow ROYG-BIB, but I'm not going to use the B. I'm using just bluebird for the indigo color, or blue, whichever. Okay, and then I've also created some mats in black for my photos. And the stamp sets that I'm going to use, the first one is from joyinthejourney, and I'm going to use a whole bunch of these stamps. And my title's coming from that as well. And then I'm also going to use stamps from the Your Smile set. And believe it or not, both of these are still available. So I'll put a link in the description below. I'm also going to use some die cuts from the Decorative Shapes and an older retired scallop circle die cut. And then I wound up not using the tags dies. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is trim down my white daisy base. I'm going to cut off a 1/2 inch off of each side because this whole thing is going to be matted on a piece of black cardstock. So I'll have a black border all the way around the edges. So it'll look like this. But first I'm going to do some treatment to this white daisy. I've taken the cloud image that's from Your Smile, and I'm going to random stamp in linen ink a bunch of clouds in the upper third area of this white daisy. And it's kind of hard to see on screen here. It's very subtle, and in the finished product, it's very subtle as well, but just gives a little cloud effect there. And I fuss around with the placement of my photos. I kind of want to set it up like a collage with one overlapping the other. And you'll see that I move them around quite a bit. And what I'm doing here is trying to decide where I want to stamp my title. So I'm just kind of laying these out and visualizing where my strips of scallop borders will be, and if I want my title to be on the left or the right side. And ultimately, I decide on the left side. This is a little bit scary, stamping on your background, but it's a white daisy and I haven't gotten too far. So if I goof it up, I can start over. But I got this inked up and looks beautiful. I'm happy with that. Okay. We'll go ahead and flip our Versamat back over, and I'm going to bring in my splat box. I'm going to splatter some shimmer brush all over, and I just wanted a light color, and the one that I found, I couldn't find my seafoam, so I wound up using retired mint color, and I think it works just fine. So I'm just splattering some of these all around. Kind of looks like rain. And then off camera, I hit it with my heat tool to dry it quicker. Okay, so this is how I'm going to lay my scallops out. They've got two colors because it's the two-tone Close My Heart paper. So I've got one side is the light and one side is the regular. And then I just laid them out, and I'll show you how to glue them down in just a minute. But first I want to kind of decide where I want my photos to be so that I can figure out where to start laying down those scallop borders. So like I said, I fuss with this quite a bit. And that's not going to be it, but I kind of have an idea of where I want my borders to start. So we'll start laying those down. First one is going to be the dark version of Royal. And I'm going to lay it down somewhere kind of around 2.5 inches from the bottom. And make sure it's straight. I'm going to bring in my T-square ruler. Make sure I laid that little guy down straight. And then I'm going to take the lighter version of Royal, and I'm going to lay that down, but I'm going to stagger it so the rounded edge is with the point. And I'm going to have a close-up shot in just a second. So it's kind of staggered, and that way they're not completely even when you line them up. So you got one where it's a scalloped rounded edge is up against the point. And then you just continue doing that and staggering them all the way up until you get them all laid down. And then you take the whole thing and turn it over and just trim off all that excess. Clean that up. And then we've got our base. Okay. So now I decided I wanted to do some more stamping. So I'm going to take this banner image and then some of the banner shapes. And again, this is a little scary. I'm stamping on my background. And now there's no going back since I've glued down all those scalloped borders. So take a deep breath. Be brave. And we're going to make this work. So I'm going to ink up this banner image with the two bows on each end, and I'm going to put that at an angle right there. Make sure it absorbs in the paper, and woohoo, it looks great. Okay, now I'm going to take some more stamps from this set. This one has a bunch of arrows, and I'm going to stamp those down right above the candy apple strip. I love these bright colors paired with black and white. They really pop. So we've got our arrows. And then I'll swap that stamp out with the diagonal lines border stamp. And at the bottom of the white, I'm going to stamp these diagonal lines in black ink for another border, and just some more interest to my layout. Lots of really useful stamps in this Joy in the Journey set. So we'll just stamp all along the border, or along the edge here. I'll bring in some scratch paper to catch the excess ink off the edge to finish up that line. And then we have our base. Okay, so now I'm going to do some stamping. I've got some white daisy, and I've got all these little banners. There's 3 different shapes, so I'm going to stamp them in all the colors. We have Royal first, and I'll speed this up super fast after I'm done stamping. This next one is Bluebird. And then we'll do Clover, And these are all the same colors that are for the scalloped borders. And then we'll start over with the triangle shape with lemonade. And then pumpkin. And then the final one will be candy apple. And the set does not come with dies, but it's relatively simple to just fussy cut. So I'll speed things up and we'll get those cut out really quick. Okay. So a reminder, I will make a playlist at the end of this video of all the other Makers with Heart videos for this month. We all publish on the 25th of the month and we all go live at the same time. And everyone got the same things in their mystery envelope and we all have the same challenge. So you can see how all the other makers incorporated rainbows into their projects. Okay, so I'm going to lay these banners out and then I'll glue those down. And it reflects the same color pattern and order of all the colors of the scalloped borders. So we'll get those glued down. We'll skip ahead. And then I'll take this whole panel and I'm going to adhere it to the black base. So it's got that nice black border around the edges. Okay. All right, so we'll bring our photos back in. And I think that's how I want things to sit. Gonna make sure. I think that's gonna work. Okay, so then I will bring in another stamp, and this one is from Your Smile, and I'm going to use that rainbow. So I'll ink that up with black ink, and we'll stamp that out. And this rainbow only has 4 rays in it, and so I pulled all 6 colors. But I'm going to narrow that down. I've got some TriBlends here, and I'm just going to choose 4 of the colors to color in my rainbow. And I'll speed this up super fast, and we'll get that colored in, and then we'll fussy cut. Wish I could color this fast. I'm not doing any blending. It's just straight up coloring, filling in each of the rays of the rainbow, and then we'll cut that out. And it's a really simple fussy cut as well. So now we've created a lot of the ephemera that's going to go on our layout. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in my scalloped circle, and I'm going to cut it out in lemonade. Now you see here I decided to cut it in half, but then later on I changed my mind again, and I decided I wanted the whole thing because I'm going to lay it under a corner. So I will cut another one off camera. But I'm just kind of laying things out here. Now this is a cutout. This is a super old retired collection called So Much Happy. And it's from a few years back, and it came with cut apart sheets, and then it also came with stickers. So I've got this cut apart, and it says, I always get excited about, and then I'm going to take these letters that are part of the sticker collection from So Much Happy, and I'm going to spell out rainbows. And then I will make that shorter, because it's too large for that space. And that's going to be on top of that scalloped circle. And then I'll bring in some die cuts that I made from the Decorative Shapes collection. So I have a bluebird banner, and then a tab that's with clover. So I'm going to journal the date on the clover, and then I'll do a little more journaling on this banner. And then I'll pull a sticker from the sticker sheet. So just some quick journaling. There's not a ton to say. Saw a rainbow out my back door, so I took a couple pictures. So I'll go ahead and add a sticker that says "So much joy," and get that down straight. I think those are some good elements to get started with the little cluster of embellishments here. And then I pulled a heart and a sticker heart. And that is from another collection that came out around the same time, and it's called I Heart Us. And both collections have some nice rainbow colors in them. So I had some leftovers, so I hit up that stash. Okay, so I have popped my pictures with some foam tape. And fortunately, I didn't press it down because I'm going to pick that smaller one up and scooch it over a little bit. Phew! I was able to lift it up and scooch it over, and then this one's going to overlap because in the picture it has part of the roof of the house in it, so it was a little distracting. So I'm going to overlay the photo over that, and then I'll bring in my rainbow, and I'm just going to create a little cluster here. We have our scalloped circle. And we'll put that little banner, just try in different areas. I think I like that. And a tab and that little heart. So we'll get all of that adhered. I think that looks good. Make sure it's all glued down. And then I'm going to bring in some die cuts. This is from a die cut collection from Lawn Fawn, and they're called the Simple Puffy Cloud Frames. And it just has the outline of the cloud. So I've stacked them so they're more like chipboard. And I did several so I can add them to my background. So we'll get those glued down. And then I'm going to bring in some black and white dots. And these come in stars, circles, and hearts. So I'm going to pull all the hearts and put them in between each of those banners. And then I'll scatter a couple more around my layout. And I think we're going to call that done. So I've got some close-up shots. Love all those bright colors. So again, I'll make a playlist at the end of all the Makers with Heart mystery envelope videos for this month. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. And then you'll be able to find all of my videos. I'll make a list of all the supplies that I used with links in the description below. And thanks for watching.